Okay, I'm actually very, very happy that I did the Manson thing first, because Manson has said that was a very strong point of contention for him with Karol Nawrocki. He has said, and I will repeat it right now. He said, "I do not like it when foreign politicians endorse Polish presidential candidates, because foreign politicians will not give their endorsement for the sake of the Polish interest. They will be giving the endorsement for the sake of foreign interest." Okay? That was in the context of Nawrocki's visit to the United States and a little photo shoot with Donald Trump, which was treated as basically Donald Trump endorsing Karol Nawrocki for the presidential seat. That was how the perception was, and I actually think that was an endorsement. And there is further evidence of that, seeing as, and this is the headline, Trump's Homeland Security chief tells Poles to vote for right-winger in presidential election. And let's not just take the headline for it, okay? Let's not just trust the headline. We will be watching this short video that depicts the endorsement itself, and then we will talk about it a little bit, okay? All right, let's watch it. And let's, I guess, see what we can glimpse.
The U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, said that Karol Nawrocki should be the next president of Poland. Speaking at the CPAC conference in Rzeszów in Poland's southeast, Noem also criticized his runoff rival and Warsaw mayor, Rafał Trzaskowski.
I just had the opportunity to meet with Karol, and listen.
And yes, I have a lot to say about this endorsement. I'm going to be pausing and I'm going to be commenting because I have pre-watched this a little clip, and the irony is off the charts.
He needs to be the next president of Poland. Do you understand me? It matters who's in charge. I have watched over the years as socialists and people that are just like this mayor out of Warsaw, that is an absolute train wreck of a leader, have destroyed our countries because they have led by fear. They have used fear to control people, and they've used fear to promote an agenda that is not what liberty is about.
So the Homeland Security chief is saying that Trzaskowski is leading by fear. That is not what liberty is about. And she said it while, warning Polish people that Trzaskowski is ruining the city that he is in charge of, and that he is pushing an agenda. So basically, fear-mongering, basically pushing a fear message. You should be afraid of Trzaskowski because he will push a dangerous left-wing communist socialist agenda. He will destroy the city. But you know what? Ruling by fear is not what liberty is about. What a train wreck of a leader. There is a very clear reason why Trump's cabinet is endorsing Nawrocki. And that is because Trump and Nawrocki are extremely ideologically aligned. When Trump went ahead and threw tariffs at Europe and including Poland, Nawrocki praised the tariffs. He praised Trump. He criticized Europe and Poland for the tariffs. He said that it was because of bad European policy. He said that it is because of Poland's anti-American attitude that Trump is so tough when it comes to tariffs. He is basically a Trump stooge. No matter what Trump does, says, everything is good because Poland needs a good relationship with the United States. No matter what, no matter how servile, no matter how very bad no matter how bad that relationship is. And that worries me a lot in the context of Ukraine, for example, where Trump is very visibly abandoning Ukraine, where Trump is very openly defending Vladimir Putin at every step of the way, when Trump is unwilling to do any sort of decisive move against Russia, pressure-wise, or even negotiations-wise. It's a very sad thing to witness, and I sincerely would not like a Polish president that would just basically parrot that line, that would just say, oh yes, President Trump is right. Ukraine should be more thankful. Ukraine should actually give away territories because Nawrocki could very well adopt a line of, you know what? Who cares if those 4 regions of Ukraine go to Russia or not? Poland will be safe either way. There will be peace, and as long as there's peace, we don't really care how much territory Ukraine keeps. I'm pretty sure that at least one of the presidential candidates during this campaign has expressed such an opinion. I'm not exactly sure if Nawrocki in particular has said that, but I know that there is a zero chance that he could adopt such a stance should Trump push for it really, really hard. Nawrocki is also very much against Ukraine being in NATO, which is also in line with Donald Trump's policy, I suppose. It has nothing to do with Trump, but he is also against Ukraine joining the European Union, which is very interesting to me. Only his victory would ensure continued US military support and strong ties with Washington, which sounds like very interesting. Only the victory of Karol Nawrocki, the conservative candidate, would ensure continued US military support. So what will happen if Trzaskowski wins? Will the US withdraw troops from Poland? First of all, okay, I consider this sort of thing a meddling into Polish elections. This is borderline meddling into Polish elections when a US politician says, you know what? If this candidate wins, then I'm not sure if the US will continue military support and ties with Poland. Actually, you know, maybe if our favorite candidate will not win, then maybe we'll just withdraw all troops from Poland. Who knows? Who knows what will happen? I'm sorry, I count that as meddling, but maybe I'm just ignorant. Maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. In my opinion, it is. I don't care. In what a market a rare foray by a top US official into the Polish presidential race, Noem launched a blistering attack on Nawrocki's rival, the pro-EU centrist Rafał Trzaskowski, calling him an absolute train wreck of a leader. Noem's vocal endorsement of Nawrocki came at the Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, in Rzeszów, southeastern Poland, on Tuesday, just days before the runoff. Yeah, we're gonna be voting this Sunday. The National Conservative Nawrocki, backed by Poland's main right-wing opposition Law and Justice Party, which has very close ties to the MAGA movement, and the liberal mayor of Warsaw Trzaskowski, supported by the ruling centrists, advanced to the second round after no candidate secured the required majority in the first vote last week. There you go. This is interesting. Speaking at the inaugural CPAC Poland conference, Noem backed Nawrocki as the only candidate who would ensure Poland will continue to have a US military presence and enjoy close ties with the administration of Donald Trump. I just had the opportunity to meet with Karol. He needs to be the next president of Poland. Oh, she then warned that a vote for Trzaskowski would mean he would take all of that protection away from you. Which sounds like a threat, but what do I know? If you elect a leader that will work with President Donald Trump, the Polish people will have an ally. You will continue to have the US presence here, a military presence, and you will have equipped that is American made. And now this says that Joe Biden increased the number of US troops to 10,000. However, concerns have risen recently that Trump, who has urged Europe to take more responsibility for its own defense, might push to reduce the US military footprint in the region. And backing Europe's nationalist surge. Noem is a divisive figure, not least because of her hardline immigration views. She has been embroiled in a number of controversies, including accusations that she fabricated a meeting with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. She was once touted as one of the favorites to be Trump's vice presidential running mate, but her chances shrank after she admitted in a memoir that she had shot her 14-month-old dog, Cricket, which she hated after concluding it was untrainable. Wow. Okay, so we got a psycho here. In other words, we got amazing. What an amazing Homeland Security chief. My dog misbehaved, so I just shot my dog, I guess. Makes perfect sense to me. Nawrocki, who met Trump in Oval Office earlier this month, pledged to keep strong ties. The right-wing candidate has accused Trzaskowski of trying to implement EU migration policies at Poland's expense. And that's basically it. The United States is openly endorsing a far-right candidate and is pushing for, she's that puppy murderer. Let's be honest, the United States backing Nawrocki is basically backing division in Europe as well, because Nawrocki is a very strong anti-European Union candidate. So, interestingly enough, that is the foreign interest that Manson has mentioned in his whole spiel about not liking presidential candidates accepting foreign endorsement, because in this case the US interest is to divide Europe and to keep it weaker. That is at least one possible US interest that can be gathered from this endorsement.